dive into it. Number one, you probably already guessed this and you probably already know it. See You at the Top. First book I ever read, kind of in the business, self-help, self-development world. I was like, 18 or 19 years old. My boss gave it to me and he was like, hey, read this. Boom, started reading it and it just took over my mind right off the bat. He only wanted me to read the first chapter. I completely destroyed the whole book. I read the whole thing and it was a game changer for me. So that one has to do a lot with belief. Like I categorize these books in different categories that have impacted my mind and my activity and my strategy to build my agency. And these books all had their own reasons why I believe they're super important for me and could be for you. So See You at the Top helped me believe in myself, my self-image, the way I saw relationships with other people, my goals, etc., etc. And it really changed the way I thought. So See You at the Top, number one. Next one, number two, Think and Grow Rich, also in the believe segment category where it really gets you thinking and it gets you in the state of believing that you can accomplish these goals and accomplish whatever it is that is your definition of success. And Earl Nightingale, it's either Earl Nightingale or Napoleon Hill that say that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So whether you're a teacher that's just trying to be the best teacher that she can be, or he can be in a school for students and trying to change their lives, as long as you're progressively realizing that ideal world and place, and that is a successful person. There is no definition of success for somebody who has a lot of money. That's what a lot of people will just they'll throw that in there saying that you're successful if you have a lot of money. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, and fantastic book for belief. Next category I think was number three, which is activity. These couple books were game changers for me as far as how I was acting on a day-to-day basis and performing activity and just getting stuff done. Really, when it comes down to it, is like you got to believe, but you also got to get stuff done. You can't just sit there and believe all day. You got to do something about it. So this is where a lot of people miss the boat. Like everyone's like law of attraction, like I believe. Totally important, like believing, seeing, visualizing, huge parts of building anything and doing something that you want to accomplish, but you need to have the activity to back it. So number three, 10X by Grant Cardone. Fantastic book as far as activity levels and getting stuff done. Simply, like just read that one. It's also, I think it's free on YouTube if you want to listen to the whole audiobook. I think I did that once. Number four, Closer Survival Guide, also by Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is just an activity executing animal, so I really, want to hype him up. Both will help you, get more stuff done and close deals. Like the Closer Survival Guide, I revisit at least once or twice a year just to get me back in the juices flowing of closing deals. Super important, especially in sales. So that's the activity one. Next one, number four, this is the category of strategy, like business strategy, and how are you executing business as a whole. So one I want to share, number five, $100 million Offers by Alex Hormozi. If you don't know Alex Hormozi, also big entrepreneur guy on YouTube, very successful guy. He's done a great job, and he talks about how a lot of times it doesn't come down to what you're doing. It's just changing your offer and promoting it and presenting it in a different way. Like if you have a product that sells for $9.99 and you believe it's bringing people value, you could probably actually sell that product for $1,000 if you just change the offer. So there's different ways to look at it. It's a fantastic book as far as strategy for business and how to present yourself and sell your products. Number six, The 4-Hour Work Week. This is by Tim Ferriss. Fantastic book, The 4-Hour Work Week. It gets kind of nitty gritty on like the 80-20 rule and actually being efficient with your time and being disciplined and not just spending all these hours on a day-to-day basis doing things that you think are income producing activities and that are efficient, but they really come down to when you look at them and analyze them and look at them as a big picture, they're really not doing too much for you. And so it kind of helps you eliminate and prioritize what is really important in your day-to-day and what is important for you in your lifestyle. Like if you're really trying to live on a beach and drink a coconut and drink out of a coconut and just enjoy the the nice weather in Costa Rica, 3 months out of the year, you can actually do that for fairly low income. Like, you don't need a ton of money to actually do that. And he kind of talks about how to do that if that's really what you want to do. Also, automation, talks about automation, how important that is, because you really want to try to remove yourself from the business so that you're not, in the business and you're working on the business. So great book for efficiency and strategy. So that's another one. And then lastly, the 12-week year. That is, as far as organizing and planning out your goals, that has been really helpful for me to actually see them in a 12-week span instead of 12-month span. So when you see it in a 12-week span, it's more top of mind, it's more in front of you, it's more reachable, and you don't get lax. Like, you don't fall off as easy as in the 12-month planning of goals. So it helps you organize also your day-to-day tasks and your priorities, and have an intention every single week, which is super important. You don't just want to go into every week just kind of, we'll see what happens this week. Like, go in with an intention, a mission, a goal. Like they say, a ship that leaves the harbor without, with no compass, no maps, no rudder, no sail, with a sail but no direction, will probably end up on the rocks, versus the one that has a GPS and a map and knows exactly where they're going. They're going to end up at where they want to be. So have a plan, strategize that stuff. So those are the strategy ones. So like I said, believing, having activity, and then having a strategy and goals at the end of the day. Like, those combination, and then throwing in a little Law of Attraction. The Key to Living the Law of Attraction by Jack Canfield. Also a fantastic book for if you're struggling with believing and visualizing, seeing what you want to accomplish. That book was a game changer for me too. It like clicked certain things in my mind where I'm like, oh my gosh, if you just look at life this way and see people, and you're attracting all these beautiful things. The one beautiful thing about that book, The Key to Living the Law of Attraction, that book, it just, you realize that you are constantly in a state of attraction. At this very moment, I am putting out energy into the world that is attracting something back to me. So at every single moment of this day, you will be putting out, whatever you're putting out will be reciprocated in the law of attraction. That's what the book talks about. So be very mindful of what you're putting out, because it directly results what is kind of manifesting and coming back into your life. And that's what the book talks about. And that's not necessarily just opinion of someone. That is the vibrations that are actually studied and scientifically proven that are actually being put out into the universe. Like, vibrations are actually real, and thoughts are actually frequencies that are going out of your brain. Like, they could be measured. So it's a real thing. Law of attraction is actually a thing. It's kind of like the same thing, like when you're thinking about somebody randomly and all of a sudden your phone rings and it's them, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, how did you just call me? That's kind of like the law of attraction in work. Like, your frequency and vibration is going out into the universe. So I'm a religious man as well. Like, I believe in God. So the Bible over everything is the number one book. I don't necessarily read the Bible as much as I probably should. So I'm not going to say I'm a perfect God believer as well, but that's the number one book over all these. And then, so I'll talk about the current book that I'm reading at the moment. The current book is called The Power of One More by MYLETT. So far, I can honestly tell that it's going to make my list. Like, I'm not done with the book. I'm about like 75% of the way done. But so far, what I've read, it's game-changing stuff. So if you're struggling with business, you need to kind of keep that going. Like, you need to keep the juices, the entrepreneurial, the mindset juices flowing constantly, even if it's a page or two every night. Like, just keep it going, because your habits will develop over time, and they get into your subconscious mind. So you want to try to get as much of this information that these people have put all their best stuff into one little book, and you want to put it into your subconscious mind so that your habits really start to take over subconsciously, and your life basically goes on autopilot. But you can't let them go. Like, you got to revisit them constantly. So those are my top suggestions and reviews for these books that have really, really impacted me and helped me grow my agency over the last 4 years, and I would highly recommend them for anybody else out there who's thinking about trying to grow their own business or, you know, start their own insurance brokerage, which is what I did 4 years ago. So hope that helps. Really appreciate you guys. If you do get any value, subscribe, like, check out those books, and hit me up at chriscostantini.com. I do have some consultations and other services available on there too. So really appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys at the top by Zig Ziglar. Great book. Go read it. Really appreciate you guys. See you soon. Peace.